Hey everyone, welcome back. Again, we are at the Midweek Madness, so we're actually gaining the ability to play with whatever cards we want, and I am playing a deck that is a bit more ambitious. Our last one was very successful with the Selesnya enchantments, the enchantment flowers, so I'm trying a deck that's a bit more ambitious. So the card I want to see play is Demi-Lich. Now the problem with it's very good if you cast a lot of spells. The problem is, there aren't many good cantrips in the format right now. So I need to find a solution to that. And the thing that I realized, you don't actually have to cast any spells for this to trigger. You could just have 4 blue mana left open and a bunch of instants or sorceries in your graveyard, and you just cast Demi-Lich. You can just do that. So, that is one option. We also have... So, as for cards that it can... when you cast it, you can exile and cast a copy. See the Truth is a great card to cast with that. So I'll have 2 See the Truth, 2 Demi-Liches. By the way, the reason I have 2 Demi-Liches instead of 4, this isn't Phoenix. I'm going to be spending mana on this. This is going to be either a 2 mana or 3 mana card sometimes, but I'm not playing 4 instants or sorceries and then casting it. So then, in addition, this is kind of like a wizard's deck. So we have Chilling Trap, which is a cantrip if you control a wizard. So in addition to Demi-Lich being a wizard, Quandrix Apprentice is a wizard. We have Mentor's Guidance, which draws us 2 cards, scries 2 and draws us 2 cards, which I feel could be pretty good. I might end up switching this out for a different card draw, like Of One Mind, if I think I could get Demi-Lich more consistently, because that would be a 1 mana card draw as long as I have a Demi-Lich. This also allows for Druids, so therefore Dragon's Guard Elite is another win condition we have. You always want to have more than 1 win condition. So Demi-Lich, just get value, is a win condition. Dragon's Guard Elite, just giving me a bunch of +1/+1 counters and just a big threat, that's a win condition. Seagate Stormcaller, copying some spells, making it more powerful, that's one thing. These are 2 good wizards that give us early game. Quandrix Apprentice is just a good wizard. Drawing a land, as I said, it's drawing a card, but not the card you want. Who cares? It's drawing a card. As for the top end, I do have a Tanzania Quandrix. This could work with a Dragon's Guard Elite, but honestly, just a 5 mana 4/4 flyer could be pretty powerful. Add Quandrix Command to it, and like then all of a sudden, my Quandrix Apprentice can attack in, my Seagate Stormcaller can attack in, because they're 4/4s. Quandrix Command is a nice combat trick to put some +1/+1 counters on it, return a creature to their hand, that sort of stuff. We also have just 2 Lair of the Hydras and 3 Hall of the Storm Giants. Just 5 different ways to get man lands if they wipe the board. And then also the Demi-Lich. Other than that, we do have some counter spells, because you need to run counter spells in these sort of decks, unfortunately. I tried to limit it, so 2 Mystical Disputes, 2 Salt Cummings, and 4 Jawari Disruptions. That's my counter spells. Some people will run more. I don't want to. I do not want to. But yeah, this is mainly blue, which means there will be times where we just have 4 blue mana open, and we just cast Demi-Lich. I think that will happen quite consistently. In addition, we have Wizard Class as a pseudo-win condition. Basically, this is draw 2 cards, and then it also turns every one of our creatures into a Dragon's Guard Elite, where it just gets +1/+1 counters, it gets out of hand. Tanzania also helps with that, because once it comes to play, if one of my creatures has +1/+1 counters on it, put more on it. Other than that, it's just kind of this is definitely a bit more suspicious than my other decks. This is definitely much more suspicious, but I want to see Demi-Lich in action. If this deck fails, I do have an additional Demi-Lich deck I want to try, but I'm going to give it a shot. This is the one I trusted more. I could just be wrong, though. Alright. So we have Island, Wizard Class, Lair of the Hydra, wait, Hold of the Jawari Disruption, or opt if they play nothing. I like it. I like it. See the Truth. Alright. For a future turn. You're playing a Yorion deck. Great. Don't you know how much I love Yorion? Just a control card that makes it... If you're not using it and you're playing a deck that's not aggressive, you're probably just losing. Exactly how I want to play Magic, you know? Alright. I'm trying to think of any 3-drops in their deck that's worth countering. I think my actual play here is to just See the Truth. Keep myself moving. Yeah, I don't think I want the Jawari Disruption right now. Alright. I'm gonna just, yeah, see the truth for now. Well, at the very least, I'm glad these are out of my way. But, saying thank goodness these are out of my way is not exactly the response you want to hear, to put simply. I took the land just to make guarantee we get land drops. They have Cultivates. That was a card that would have been good to Jawari Disruption. So I could hold up, and I could play this as an island, hold up Opt and Jawari. But I thought they were, I legitimately thought they were just going to Yorion. Now that they haven't, I'm in a weird spot. Gotta figure out a way out. I am not the best control player, because a lot of control involves you understanding your opponent's deck as better than yours. And I play a lot of best of one, where I just see a lot of decks, and I like seeing a lot of decks, so I don't have time to learn all that very thoroughly. Because I didn't realize my opponent could and wanted to ramp that turn, so that was my mistake. So I could Dragon's Guard Elite and get ready to opt, but I feel like that's this Drawer Disruption is probably just going to be played as a land. I'm going to commit to that and just have the opt ready. But the thing is, this actually can't get killed by Heartless Act, because if they try Heartless Act it, I get to respawn with an opt and counter it. So yeah, I think this turn they're sliding something into their hand. More Cultivates, I couldn't have Jawari Disruption that anyways, and I don't think there's going to be a 2-mana play that I want to Jawari Disruption. But at this point, yeah, Jawari Disruption is a dead card. I'm going to play it tapped. Please try to Heartless Act it. Alright. They're holding up the Heartless Act for when I play my card. So I'm just gonna attack. Do the Heartless Act? Oop. I could actually Jawari Disruption that. Was not expecting that. Now I get to opt. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think Brazen Borrower is where I want to be. Awesome, and we got to deal additional damage thanks to the way they played it. Alright. So I could Quandrix, use a Chilling Trap as a combat trick. I have a Quandrix command for future. If I draw a land here, I can Quandrix command. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're getting ready to Ultimatum. They could Ultimatum this turn, or now knowing I have a drawer. Oh, I only have a forest left open now. Yeah, if they Ultimatum, I think I just lose. But it's like, they had double Cultivate into Ultimatum, and I did not stop them. Consider it my mistake. Yeah, they have to kill the Dragon's Guard Elite, which actually feels good. That they had to use their spells to just kill the Dragon's Guard. Awesome. So I can hold up a Quandrix command and the Chilling Trap, or I could just draw 2 cards off of that. So I have options. Return target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand, counter target artifact or enchantment, or put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. Alright. I think I also want to shove the 2 Cultivates in their deck is also a thing I could do. But they're a 80-card deck already, so probably not worth the while. But yeah, Quandrix command to protect my apprentice, I'm perfectly fine to do. Obviously, I would much rather use this to put +1/+1 counters to save it than to use it to just return it to my hand. But I'll do what I must. If they Yorion, this can at least bounce it back. Returns a creature or planeswalker to their hand. Okay. Alright. So, return a creature or planeswalker and put 2 +1/+1 counters. Return that to your hand. 2 +1/+1 counters on this. And I get it. Oof. I'm going to play this and just swing in. The Chilling Traps are pretty nice, but I think we just need to get more bodies on board. This thing can't be countered, I'm pretty sure. Yep. So no point getting counter spells. Alright, we have double Chilling Trap for next turn. If they try to just re-Coma. Unfortunately, that does mean I don't have an answer to Coma. But I'm about to cycle. I could draw 2 cards, cycle my hand. Like, I do have plays at the very least. The fact that they have to start tapping down my Quandrix Apprentice actually feels great, because it's a 6/6. Tanzania is actually not the threat here, which is fantastic. Oh my gosh, yeah, Quandrix Apprentice is going to be an 8/8. This theme does not have reach, so Tanzania can attack freely. I could start leveling up Wizard class. Alright, they had Ultimatum. Yep, I thought once they drew into Ultimatum, we were going to be in trouble. The Emergent Ultimatum Yorion deck, I didn't counter the Cultivates. So many things I could do. Only so many things I could do. Missed with Quandrix Apprentice, but oh well. So I have 1 less land right now. I don't think that's the deciding factor here. Yeah, I think there are much more important factors than the fact that I missed a land with Quandrix Apprentice. Alright. Let's see what 3/8 I have to deal with. So, Professor Onyx. Gargaroth. So if I leave the Professor Onyx and the Gargaroth, I actually can attack him. If I leave the Courier of Best Sea God, yeah, I can't deal with the Kiora, so I'm actually going to let the other 2 through. This is not a positive position, but I can kill the Professor Onyx with Quandrix Apprentice. The Gargaroth, if it blocks, it trades with Quandrix Apprentice. Oh, greatest power amongst creatures they control. I thought it was greatest mana cost. I misunderstood. I misunderstood and I lost. I might have just lost because of it. Well, I legitimately thought is greatest converted mana cost, not greatest power. Well, that's bad. That's very bad. This is not a wizard, so Chilling Trap does not work with it. Well, I think that's game. My card draw has failed me. I need to get Tanzir Quandrix active. I don't see how I'm going to pull it off. I could have Lair of the Hydra attacked. They're both 4/4s. That still doesn't help me get through. Yeah, drawing my lands now. Ugh. Oh well. Can Demi-Lich help me? I mean, Demi-Lich is going to be really hard for them to counter. Well, I think that decides my fate. If they fight it, I can Chilling Trap to... So at least that way, the Pelukrinos doesn't kill my Tanzania. They just lost some damage on Pelukrinos. They miskill disputed it. Okay. Yeah. They have the advantage. They have the position. I do need to get... Usually I wouldn't concede games, but I'm just like, there's only so much time I can stream, so I want to make sure I get through as many decks as I can. So once it's certain that the loss is coming, like, they have to disconnect to lose from there. They have to freaking disconnect. Misunderstood Professor Onyx, but on top of that, I was facing an Emergent Ultimatum. I'm not exactly going to be very keen of playing around an Emergent Ultimatum. Alright. Alright, so we have an Opt, we have a Seagate Stormcaller, and the Opt's going to get me my green mana. That's why I'm keeping this hand. And if it doesn't give me my green mana, I hold up a Brazen Borrower. Alright, give me my green mana. That's not green mana. There we are. Kind of weird to see Quandrix Apprentice in Constructed, I'm sure, but I think it's the right play. Let's attack. And I have 2 bounce spells, so I'm gonna just play another Quandrix Apprentice and say you're still not a threat. You're not a threat for me yet. I could Seagate into Brazen Borrower, I'm pretty sure. Copy the next. Yep. So yeah, I could Seagate Storecaller, double Brazen Borrower, these 2. Non-land permanent. That's all it says. So I could Seagate, bounce, and congratulations, you get 1 token for Battle of Bredegard. Then I could bounce another token with Quandrix Command next turn. Perfect. Hey, that looks like a good land. Missed. Alright. And I could bounce back the battle, basically say you have to play it again. Yeah, I think that's actually a play. Get my mana. All fixed up on mana now. Next turn, I could play Wizard class, hold up Quandrix Command and Brazen Borrower. If they play their Battle for Bredegard, I can counter it and return their Luminarch Aspect back to their hand again. Here. I'm Wizard classing, and that could be a Mana Theme later. This counters enchantment spells. Okay. I was hoping they wouldn't think to play Battle for Bredegard here. Alright, perfect. Perfect. Alright. So I counter target artifact or enchantment spell. And I think I return target creature to its owner's hand. Alright. Return that to its hand. There we go. No lands there. Forest there. Alright. With all this, what am I going to do with all this mana? It's almost as if I have a mana sink for it. Gosh, if they played that backwards, I could have actually taken out the Luminarch back to their hand. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so they had second Ranger class. That's why they were doing this play. I'll take the block. Alright. So if I draw 3 cards... Let's see. If I play Forest, draw 3 cards, I then could still hold up Brazen Borrower. I think I start with an Opt, actually. Yeah, I could turn it into a 3/3 with Lair of the Hydra. Alright. There we are. That's sort of lands I want to see. Let's close out this game. Alright, so I can pay to foretell slot coming and still hold up Brazen Borrower. So I have options. Yep. So now I have the counterspell. And I also have the Brazen Borrower if I'm not threatened by them. I could just play the Brazen Borrower. The flying basically allows me to get over and deal the last of the damage. Yeah, I'd say we're in a good spot. We even have some card draw just waiting for us. Yep. Yeah, if whoever they cast doesn't interfere with the Brazen Borrower attacking them for a lethal plan, I just let it happen. Alright. Why did it tap like that? Alright. Why is it tapping like this? These are some of the worst taps. Like, I wanted to agree. There's literally a 2-mana play in there. Why did you tap like that? That was the stupidest tap I've ever seen this tapper do. Like, there's literally a playable in my hand sitting there. That doesn't trigger because X can't be 0. That was the stupidest tap I've seen this thing do. Oh my gosh. That's kind of infuriating. That's a little infuriating. Alright. I'm trying to think what the combat trick could be. I'm okay killing whichever one they put the +1/+1 counter on. Yeah, I really am disappointed that I couldn't play Quandrix Apprentice because of the auto-tapper. Oh well. So, Tanzania, and then I could still Quandrix Apprentice. Okay. And then Quandrix Apprentice. If I attack, they block with a 1/1. That stops the 1/1 from attacking. They have to block with both if they want to kill it. I'm okay with that. Yep, I'm actually okay with this trade. This is actually a trade that's positive as far as I care. As far as I can tell. So next turn, I can actually Lair of the Hydra as a 1/1. Attack with it and Tanzania Quandrix. Turn them all into 4/4s. And like, even though all of my cards in hand are lands, the fact that I got all of those lands out of my deck is actually a positive. I'm gonna just let that in. Tanzania wins me the game. Alright. X equals 1. No. Cancel. So X equals 1. I mean, you pay a forest and 1. Let's see how you respond to this, then I'll figure out my response in return. Alright. So here's a question. Does this kill everything if I do it like this? I'm pretty sure it does. That's bad. Yep. So I did not... I knew Sigrid... I just thought the chances of them getting 2 Sigrids with so little plays was unlikely enough but I'd go for it. I recognize my mistake before anyone brings it up. I knew that was a play they could use. I just thought, like, certainly they did not have another one, you know? And now they Paladin class to buff, and they win. Wow. They needed 2 Sigrids in the top third of their deck, but they had it. Oof, this is 0-2 now. That last game, Wizard class, I just don't have the mana to sink into it. Even with all the mana in the world, I do not have the mana to sink into Wizard class. So that's one mistake. Tanzania, I still like it as a 4/4 flyer, but I need to recognize that if it gets... You know, I should have just triggered it to see if it worked, because if it turned everything to 4/4s, I probably could have come back. Oh well. Oh well. 0-2, we got a winning... So in case you're wondering, a lot of these decks I literally just made today to try to see if they can work. I don't have much time to playtest or practice or anything. And so I'm okay with these not working. Not to mention I have yet to see either of my Demi-Liches. Alright, Dragon's Guard Elite into Opt See the Truth. I'm gonna make sure the Opt is available to play. I'm probably not gonna play it though. Yep. They are a slower deck. I have the time to Dragon's Guard Elite. Flumph. That will draw me cards. Alright. So I'll see the truth. Try and get myself an island. The green card was the island. I mean, I think they saw that coming from a mile away. They just didn't care. Which, by all means, I don't think they should have cared. Alright, now we each draw a card. So now I can force Quandrix Apprentice and still hold up Brazen Borrower. Ooh, even better, I can hold up Chilling Trap. Yep, they're not blocking that. I wouldn't do it. I don't expect them to. So if they level up Cleric class here, I can actually Brazen Borrow the Cleric class, which is fantastic for me. Fate's Feathers. Alright. I could, in response, I could Brazen Borrower the Fate's Fetters if I feel the need to. That's going to gain them a lot of life, though. Oh, it's an enchantment spell, though. Alright, there we are. I found my solution. Alright. Attack with both. Yep, make that block. Now I get a Chilling Trap you. Don't you love it when a deck comes together? Alright. Now I have a Quandrix command and a Opt ready. Priest of Ancient Lore, okay. Charming Prince. Nope, we'll allow it. I'll just Brazen Borrow to get myself a big body. Yep, that makes sense. Priest of Ancient Lore acting as the card draw effectively. Go. I must see the truth first. Alright. Nothing off of Quandrix, that's fine. They have to double block to kill the Quandrix Apprentice. Or the Chilling Trap trigger happens again. Alright. Surely they saw that coming. I literally played that a little while ago. Kind of sucks that I'm missing with a Quandrix Apprentice, but... And then drawing the lands. Alright. Alright. If they Faith's Fetters... Get Quandrix Command. Alright. Counter target artifact or enchantment spell and put 2++1 counters. Alright, so let's see. That's going to have 7+1/+1 counters. Yeah, we're going to just put it on Brazen Borrower. Alright. These Quandrix Apprentices just will not hit. And that should be lethal. Without, if anything, but Flump. Congratulations, the Flump saved you. I'm going to opt first. Because if I find a Brazen Borrower, then... Yep. Thank you. Yep, they saw it. Yeah, okay, so that's 1-2. This deck does have viability, we see. This deck can work if it gets off the ground. The ability to just stop my opponent's actions and then start doing its own. It's one of those decks where they play low ground creatures and then they start countering everything the opponent does. If this was a forest or a lair of the Hydra, I'd keep this hand. Because then I could Quandrix Apprentice, and I'd have 3 draws at any land, but this is 3 draws at specifically a forest. Alright, let's figure out if the opponent, if this is a deck where I need to opt, or if this is something where I could save the opt for Quandrix Apprentice to get myself a land. Do I still save it for the Dragon's Guard Elite? I mean, what would I be grabbing with the opt? I have nothing to grab with the opt, so the card focusing doesn't matter, because if I draw a land, I'm happy. If I draw a non-land, I'm happy. Yep. So because there's nothing I'm searching for, I'm going to just leave the opt in my hand and play it later once I have Quandrix and Dragon's Guard Elite out. Alright. Dear Devil Doc, do you respond? Do you recognize that the game's going on? I know, so Demi-Lich is not a card that you can play 4 of, as far as I can tell. So, kind of sad that I haven't seen any I have not seen any of my Demi-Liches. But then again, Demi-Lich I'm not playing 4 of, so. Alright. I have a feeling that's Poison the Cup. And if they poison my Quandrix Apprentice, then that's my Dragon's Guard Elite out, which feels pretty good. Alright. Do I want to Quandrix Command that, or do I wait for... Yeah, I wait for another creature to come into play, I think. So I think right now we just Dragon's Guard and do the Opt. Then we have a Bounce, we have a Quandrix Command. Double Righteous Valkyrie is definitely very dangerous for us. So in case you're wondering, my Cleric deck is basically just gain as many Righteous Valkyries as possible, because the card's so good. Awesome. Do I want another Quandrix Command? Let's see, if I attack with both... Yes, I do. I'm attacking with both. I think the trick is kind of obvious, but I want to see how they respond to it. Alright. So instead I could Quandrix Apprentice, and as they play something, I could Brazen Borrower. Okay. I'll do that instead. Alright. But yeah, Quandrix Command actually allows me to do some pretty good combat tricks here. You know, Teleportation Circle might fit in this Angel deck, in the Angel deck. I could see that. Alright. So they're 3-color clerics. Interesting. What did they foretell then? Haunting Voyage is one thing they could foretell. I'm trying to think what other cleric cards they'd want to foretell. Or angel cards either. Starnheim Unleashed. There it is. That's a Starnheim Unleashed. Okay. Mill 3 cards and lose 2 life. Alright. I'm perfectly fine with this. I went first, so... Wait for them to end the turn. There we go. Now we Brazen Borrow one of them. Oof. And now we thin out all the lands in our deck, basically. Alright, so they had to exile the Dragon's Guard Elite. I'm okay with that. Get Bark Channel Pathway. And a Hall of the Storm Giants. Nice. Are they going to block? Awesome. Awesome. So I get to do this. Put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. And I get to shuffle up to 3 cards. Alright, so 2+1/+1 counters here. Opt or... Let's look at... Yeah. I'll target them. I'll shuffle their Happapon Glade and Witherbloom command, because these are not good cards for them. Get an island. Get a Lair of the Hydra. There we are. And we're once again in a very powerful position. I see. Doomscar. They have Doomscars in their grave. Alright. There's the other Doomscar. Well, this is where Hall Storm Giants excels. In places where Doomscar's coming in. I'm going to Lair of the Hydra first, though. Because now I can Brazen Borrower their Angels whenever they play them. I can also play my own Brazen Borrower. So yeah, this turn I basically hold up Brazen Borrower and Unsummon. Alright. So let's unsummon that. And let's Brazen Borrower. Alright. So how much do I want to commit? Not much, I feel. So I want to leave 3 up for Quandrix command, which means that's only 1. Okay. So I'm going to just play the Dragon's Guard Elite as a way to commit. And in a future turn, I'll use my man lands. So I finally got around to getting on desktop. I could see the Stream Decker, but there is no deck list inside it for me. Darn it! Sorry to hear that Stream Decker's not working. Yeah, I think this is worth. Return target creature to its owner's hand, put 2+1 cards, so return that to its hand, and get a bigger Brazen Borrower. I don't know what happened to make it work, but it's now there. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I want to leave 3 open for the Saw It Coming. So 1. That should work. Yep. Oh, gosh darn it. Forgot that the Lair of the Hydra is a land itself. I mean, that makes it obvious what I'm doing, but I don't care if it's obvious. I want his Doomscar gone. They have 2 Doomscars. Be my guest. I'm okay with the Righteous Valkyrie coming to play. I'm just not okay with this Doomscar coming in. They're so close to getting lethaled. Alright. They have 2 mana left open if they do this. Oh. If they kill the Brazen Borrower, I play the other Brazen Borrower, win the game. Alright, so yeah. Take your binding. Yep, have to kill that one. And then I just end of turn, play the other Brazen Borrower, attack. Alright. So he hopes it always throws them off. Not a bad idea, by the way. Alright. Aw, man. Right as we drew Demi-Lich. Okay. X equals 4. That tapping's somewhat offensive to me. I'm sorry. And I have Assault coming right up here. They have a response. Assault coming. Good game. Yep, you do need some counter spells. Probably the way I could make this deck work is just add more counter spells, honestly. Of course, I draw the Demi-Lich when it doesn't even... when the game's over. Oh well. We'll find a way to make Demi-Lich work. Anyways, I believe that puts us at 2-2. I could be wrong, I've definitely been losing track of this one, but I believe that puts us at 2 wins, 2 losses. Which means... Oof. Isn't there a Flash Enter the Battlefield counterspell card? Voracious Shore Shark, but that only counters artifact spells, I believe. It's not the reason I chose to put in the Assault Cummings is because Assault Cumming counters whatever it is they're doing. If they're a creature deck, it counters that. If they're an Ultimatum deck, it counters that. Alright. We have See the Truth. We have a Demi-Lich. We're going to see if this actually works. Alright. See the Truth just getting played. I feel like See the Truth is definitely a card to pull out of this deck. At best, it's been just doing what it has to. I'm going to grab the Dwari Disruption as just a safety net. Because I have a feeling they're about a ramp they're going to be a ramp deck, and seeing them do a ramp and then countering could be very strong. And then also we have a Quandrix command. We get to hold up a bunch of stuff. And then once we feel more secure and that they have less to do, I can pull out Demi-Lich. Ugh. I can't play Quandrix Apprentice right now. Should have taken the opt. Should have taken the opt. Oh well. Next turn I could Quandrix and hold up Dwari Disruption. Alright. So tapping 1, 2. So they can tap up to 5 mana to get like a Goldspan Dragon out. Alright. I don't like using Sot coming on this guy. I really do not like using Sot coming on this guy, but nothing else plays. It's stopping a 5/5. I have to be accepting of that. Alright. Well, next turn, I Branch Loft, Quandrix, and get to Jawari Disruption. Ooh, even better. And yes, with this deck, holding up an additional island is better than holding up gain a proper forest island balance. So now we have Brazen Borrower and Jawari Disruption, depending on what they're doing. Alright. I think I just bounce Magda when the time comes. Oh, this is combat phase. They can't cast it during combat phase, so I'm gonna bounce the... I should have bounced the Magda while the Bone Crusher was... Nah, this is fine. This messes with their mana quite a bit. Alright. So I think we just play the Jawari Disruption tapped. Yeah, so now they have to use their treasure if they want to use Bone Crusher. Oh, no, they have just Spire Sentinel. Never mind. I thought the Jawari Disruption could work here, but I was incorrect. The Magda just gave them all the little treasure tokens they needed. They had to really commit to a card for me to actually be able to use it. Alright. So this is where I'm talking about the strength, one of the strengths of Demi-Lich. I think I just play Demi-Lich. I have a Sea of the Truth that gets to play. So it gets to draw me cards, and then the Sea of the Truth. Yeah. I get to draw a ton of cards if this attacks. So this is a threat that needs to they need to get rid of. Let's see how the Demi-Lich fares. It's just a 4-mana 4/3. And yeah, then I get a Quandrix. Oh, the mic is connected to my headphones, and therefore when my headphones got pulled, the mic got pulled. Alright. And then I have a Quandrix command to do some counters, like bounce something and buff my Demi-Lich. I get to do that again next turn. That is... Maybe the Demi-Lich... Okay. That is a not good. That is a not good. I mean, I'm killing the Jaspara Sentinel. Like, what? Do they have a double strike trigger, so they just kill me this turn? Oh. Who plays Sudden Breakthrough? Well, I'm going to say this was the opponent's deck just being insane. I finally got to play Demi-Lich, and just immediately died. That hurts. That hurts. Demi-Lich, I think, can work. It was just... Well, it's not tier 1. Okay. When I say it can work, I don't mean tier 1. I mean, it's a nice card. Thanks. I have 2 spells to exile for Demi-Lich. Yeah, I'm dead on board. I play that to block the gold span, and then I just take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, 2-3. 2-3. Did not make it, and when it worked, it was not due to Demi-Lich. Man, I just really want Demi-Lich to work. I'm going to try again. I have another deck that I think Demi-Lich could work in as well. But I think this deck could be good if I just ruffle out the feathers. Mentor's Guidance, I don't see that ever being good enough. Wizard class is not good enough. Let's get more Sock Cummings, more Mystical Disputes. Oh, wait, Brazen... Why do I only have 2 Brazen Borrowers? Okay. There's... Oh, See the Truth can get pulled. Yeah. There we go. That's more what the deck should look like. That's more what the deck should look like. I like Quandrix Command. I like Quandrix Command. Alright. Lair of the Hydra. You know what? I'm gonna go down on one of these each. I think they are good enough. But yeah, that's how I would change Quandrix Wizards. I think this is potential. I think this is potentially there. I think it's potentially close. Let's go with that. It's not tier 1, God no. But it's potentially close, and I think 2 Demi-Liches is the right number. Just, when you want it, you want it. When you don't, you don't. Yeah. Alright. Well, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope whatever jank you're doing works better than this. Or at the very least, you draw the jank card more often. In places where it's not already over.